Warning. The following program contains disturbing material that might be inappropriate for younger listeners. Parental discretion is advised.
I can grab your favorite podcast. Let's start this thing. Woo!
Okay, this is what you've been all waiting for. It's draft time.
Oh
You
my
know it's
God.
that.
Oh my
Boom.
God.
Boom.
Draft day.
It's time to draft.
We had our training day on Tuesday, and now we have our draft day.
So we are here. It's Thursday. You've all been waiting. It's almost Friday.
We got trained, and now we're ready.
We're trained. We're cock lock and ready to rock.
The air is thick. The air is girthy out here right now. It's just, I'm so excited, Nick.
Thick and hazy, baby.
I need to redeem myself from your terrible tiebreaker win last week.
That was a beautiful win.
It was disgusting.
I'll take that win all day.
Was it a half a win? I don't remember.
I think it should count.
Did you win a half?
Yeah, we just give away half wins here at Bev's to everyone.
I think it's a full win. I mean, I don't think we've had a half win ever awarded. So.
The girls,
thank you, Brad.
The girls decided on the tiebreaker without consulting anyone else.
Zach's the only one that takes his half win. Me and Brad it's a regular win. Zach,
they consulted a non-wife is who they consulted.
I know. I'm just saying that, Amy, you made the wrong choice.
Yeah. Nobody likes you, Amy.
Nate it was on the pod. Nate picked for his sister.
Yeah, well, you'll recall the tiebreaker wasn't between. There was no getting me out of last place. So fuck you.
It's true.
Anyway,
that was the only agreement about last draft was that Nate was last.
The number 2 pick in the draft.
They were
Nate
angry too. Like
Nate took a little boy from Thelma and Louise.
They're like, "Fuck, last place."
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and admit that my taste in men, and as we'll discuss later, my taste in women is apparently sometimes questionable. I have impeccable taste for a wife. Courtney's amazing, but
well, when you drafted Anakin Skywalker from episode 1, that was kind of a bad choice.
Even a blind hog finds an acorn every once in a while.
Yeah, fair point. Shit, I forgot what I was going to say.
We were just going to talk about our draft and what we're getting ready to draft here, and it's most memorable cop duo. That's what we're about ready to draft.
So, just to be clear, it's got to be 2 of them, right?
That's a duo. Last time I googled,
and just to also be clear,
also it's movies, not TV. Just to get that out of the way.
It's not
McConaughey and Harrelson, even though it could be the best 10-hour.
I knew that fucker was going to say.
Even though it could be the best 10-hour movie ever made, it doesn't count as a.
I admit
movie
that.
duo,
So
I would love it if you picked him number 1.
I will say right now that if TV were in it, they're 100% my. They're one of one, and it's not close any day of the week. It's so far out.
100%.
Well, speaking of, do you want to know who has number 1?
Speaking of,
wait, how did you pick the draft?
Did you already pick the draft?
Did you get a Game Boy Color?
Did you draw balls out of a hat?
No, this time I got out my Ouija board and I
talked to Bill Paxton.
I was just by myself though, and I called on Bill Paxton to help me out. I said, Bill, help me out here, and that thing started moving. And when it came up with a draft order,
you were like, "Hey, Bill, try it again."
He did it like 17 times till he got the first pick.
Oh, but I didn't want it, but I do have the first pick.
Oh, that's funny how that happens.
In second place, that would be Nick. In third place, we've got Nate.
Oh, okay. I get 2 in a row.
When am I ever going to get the wrap? I haven't had the wrap in like 10 drafts.
It's been a while.
Can we go over the records? Because I have 2 wins. What do you guys have?
I got 4.
Jesus Christ.
There are 3 of us sharing 4 wins, so you're officially 2 wins behind everybody.
It's like all of my fantasy leagues right now.
We're not doing since we're not counting halves. I'll just pretend we're all tied, but I have 4 wins. So one thing I want to point out here, and I don't know if this helps me or hurts me because obviously I did terrible in the last draft, but as I pointed out on Tuesday's training day pod, I have a secret desire to be a cop. So this is kind of right in my wheelhouse. Like if I were going to do another career, I'd be a cop.
You think so?
I'd be half of a cop duo. I would. I'd be good at it too.
For somebody who loses their mind and goes ballistic when they're angry, I'm not sure how long you would last as a cop.
Based off of what our guest said.
Sorry, Brad. I feel like that's a qualification for cops in certain areas. No, that's not. That's
okay.
That's not. You don't just get to beat the shit out of everybody you get mad at.
Yeah.
Oh well, shit. Never mind.
The badge can only go so far.
I watched Training Day, bro, and I'm pretty sure you can just beat the shit out of anybody you get mad at.
That's true.
Nate's badge hangs on the diamond necklace.
Oh yeah.
In his chest hair.
Oh yeah.
He's got a lot of necklaces on.
Doesn't have a lot of chest hair.
It's a heavy crown.
All right. Let's do
All right.
this.
So we are starting this, and I am. Oh man, I did not want the first pick just because I feel like there's so many like good like right under first 2 picks or so.
So many puppets.
And now I only get first 8.
There are some puppet cops.
Oh, there's some puppet cops. There's Pixar cops. There's a lot of things I could go. But I feel like a number one, as much as I don't want to take it, my number one, of course, is going to be Riggs and Murtaugh, Lethal Weapon.
I'm glad you did that.
I'm glad you did too, because
You did that.
I don't think
that's correct.
that the internet would let us live it down if we didn't pick them pretty early.
The only thing I like about that movie, at least nowadays, is that I have a coworker who, for the longest time, we've always called him Riggs, just because he's kind of a nut job, and he starts getting a little fired up and amped up, and he starts doing crazy shit. So we call him the Lethal Weapon because he's a mess. He drives aggressive. He does everything he does is just very aggressive and hyper. So.
Do you want to jump?
I'm pretty sure we're going to get canceled because you chose Mel Gibson for the first draft.
Oh, I didn't
Thanks
even
a
think
lot
about
for
that,
dude.
That makes
It's been fun. I had a good time.
It makes me question my Kevin Spacey pick I was going to take next.
I'm pretty sure you're a bigot by association now, Brad.
Notice I did not say his name. I used his character's name.
Oh, okay, so you're not picking the actor.
Right.
Nice job.
All right, here we go. Number 2, I'm going.
Holy shit! Did you see how fast he's making?
I was just going to say, I was about to go in and get the little sand thing from my from my taboo.
It's time for your
game
picnic.
that I have.
That was a beautiful. I was just applauding.
Get the little buzzer.
Are you guys fucking done? Are you done? I'm going Mike and Marcus. Bad Boys.
You
Will Smith
son of
and
a
Martin
bitch.
Lawrence.
That's
thinking that
two
might be my
fucking
number
weeks
one.
in a row. That's 2 weeks in a row that asshole,
You bet your fucking.
that half-winning asshole,
Give me that pick.
Martin
is
Lawrence
taking
is so
the
funny.
obvious. So that was the correct one of one. That's the sneaky 101. Oh man.
Boom.
What's the Bad Boys quote, Nick? Off the top of your head, right now, go.
What you gonna do?
My
I've
favorite
seen-
is
I've seen
Dan
it.
Marino should definitely buy this car, but not this one because I want to fuck this one up.
So here's the tough part of this pick. There's a bunch of options where like one half of the duo is amazing, and the other half is forgettable.
Some turds in
So
there.
the question is like, how do you pick the balanced duo?
You're
with
like-
that's that where the like the average is better, but the top end isn't as good.
Yeah, because you're like, Tom Hanks is really good, but Hooch doesn't really carry his weight.
You think that isn't on my list, bro? Well, I'm thinking about it.
Classic.
All right. Okay, I'm going to do it, and I think this is defensible, but I'm going to take Jake Gyllenhaal and his partner Pena.
They were on my list, but I thought they were going to get way later than
End
the
of
first
watch.
round.
Same here.
So I have some
a
other
great
ones,
pick.
but I love it. I love those guys,
I like that movie a lot.
and I like that. Yeah, I like that movie a lot. So
I will say that my phone auto-corrected it to Jake Goleshall. Three words.
That's actually his given name. He changed it.
That's his middle name, I thought.
Maggie Goleshall and Jake Goleshall.
No,
All right.
Maggie is Gyllenhaal from birth.
Okay, so I'm going the wraparound, and we're going to do this quickly. So my first pick is going to be Brad Pitt and in Seven.
Morgan
and Morgan Freeman.
Kevin Spacey.
I will tell everyone that I wrote down Brad Pitt and Samuel L. Jackson in Seven, and then I just read it and realized, what am I doing? And just exposed
And Mel
myself.
Gibson is what got us canceled.
Morgan Freeman's voiceover is so disappointed in you right now.
Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman in Seven.
Character names:
One of the great buddy cop duos. They're
Somerset
just
and Mills.
hilarity ensues every time they're on the screen. It's just
A lot of good slapstick.
they capture you.
Like, remember that one time where like his wife's head gets cut off and he shoots the guy? It's fucking hilarious.
Classic Spacey.
Classic.
So I'm going with my wraparound. I'm gonna go with one that. So they're not really partners. They're not really buddies, but they're both cops in the same dope movie. So I'm going to go Matt Damon and Leonardo DiCaprio in The Departed.
Wow. Zach usually waits till his last pick to kill his draft, but I like it.
He doesn't always
to also pick duos, like just picking two random cops in the same movie.
I don't think they're two random cops because you haven't seen the movie, Brad. So
I know, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure they're not a duo.
They have seen The Departed. Brad,
great scenes
the
together.
list is growing.
I don't know why I keep asking that question.
I need character names, so I'm going to make you do some work. Give me those character names.
It's
Boston guy and Billy Karstigan. Billy Karstigan is Leo's
Costigan
character, and I don't remember
Ma-
Matt Damon's name in the movie, but he gets in a car.
Somebody Google it. All right.
This is good pod.
Is it me?
Yes.
Dude, I keep looking at this one pick that I think is going to lose the draft for me, and I feel like I want to wait to the end to lose my draft.
No, do it in the first round.
It's so good and so bad at the same time.
Colin Sullivan. Collie.
Sullivan. There you go. Okay. All right. I'm taking...
Of course, they had a Sully in a Boston movie. You have to have a Sully.
Of
All right.
course.
I'm taking Officers Lee and Carter in Rush Hour.
Have you seen that lately?
It's been a minute. Does it not hold up?
This is not good.
I don't picture it holding up.
It's not good.
How about Rush Hour 2? Did that do better?
Did Rush Hour 2 hold up when it first came out? I'm pretty sure it was a huge hit.
I think 2 was actually really good.
I just know the line I remember is, "You never touch a black man's radio," right?
Oh, I
Says it
forgot
like
about
super high pitched Chris Tucker voice.
Chris Tucker was so fucking funny in that. Like, I mean, that my recall, I haven't seen it in like years though.
All right, who kicked me in the face?
That was the funny part.
There are some good lines. Apparently, it holds up because even Zach doing a terrible improv of it.
You don't think that was good?
Impersonation of it. I thought it was great.
Which one of y'all kicked me?
Yeah, when Chris Tucker's like, "Yo, Denise, which one of y'all kicked?" Denise. Sorry,
that's a callback. All right.
Flashback.
So I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling like you know what I feel like I'm doing right now? I'm playing poker and I'm throwing away those like 9 jack suited hands that I know I shouldn't play in early position. That's I feel like I'm being disciplined right now.
All right, Nick.
All right, I'm going Officer John Kimball and Phoebe
Did you
Schwarzenegger and Pamela Reed, Kindergarten Cop.
Did you really take my pick, Nick? Pamela Reed and Arnold Schwarzenegger in Kindergarten Cop?
That's a great tandem. She saved his life.
I think we've talked about this, Brad. One of the great
It's
bad
not
guys.
a coma.
One of the great bad guys in cinema is Crisp, the bad guy in that with that ponytail.
If you got a ponytail, you're definitely
The
bad.
Seagal ponytail.
Oh, dude, he's just a savage in that.
All right, so we are back to myself, and now I got to get a little bit more into this. Okay.
You weren't paying attention before.
Not really.
It's a long wait.
That first pick, you make a pick, and then you're just like, yeah. All right, so with my second round pick, I think I'm going to go with Angel and Butterman, the constables in England from Hot Fuzz.
Ooh, one that I have not seen. That's the same as that pub crawl movie we were talking about on the last pod, right? The same guys?
Yes.
World's End.
And it is a great, great movie. They even riff on buddy cop movies.
Hot Fuzz is good.
Man, are those good? Should I watch those movies, Brad?
They're fun.
Really? You like
I
them?
enjoy them.
They're good.
I mean, I'm a big fan of just everything that Edgar Wright's done. So, I mean, the dude makes fun, stylistic movies.
Yeah.
A lot of cool music.
Creative, like they're not over the top. But there's always their personality and their.
The guy that did Baby Driver and the guy that's doing Last Night in Soho?
Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Really?
All the same dude.
And he did all those movies with the fat guy and the skinny guy from England?
So Hot Fuzz, and what's the zombie one?
That's what. Yeah,
That's Shaun of the Dead.
That's Shaun of the Dead.
And that's same. See, you did that one.
And Into the World
Simon
or whatever
Pegg,
we're
Nick
talking about.
Frost.
Yeah.
I haven't seen End of the World. All right,
All right, and my next pick,
wrap it, bro.
I'm going to go ahead and go with Bud White and Exley, Guy Pearce and Russell Crowe in L.A. Confidential.
Okay.
Man, Brad got real reachy.
I like LA Confidential. I
like it too, but
it's my favorite noir.
noir.
Is that how you say it, Nate?
Yeah, no, you have to say it with a real. You have to
Noir.
Yeah, you have to kind of like
Noir.
You have to swallow. have to swallow the O and then find your way back to the R. Yeah, that's it.
I was in the car earlier and I was having my kids say toy boat 5 times fast. You guys ever done this?
No.
Can you do it, Brad?
And then they say but.
No. Just say toy boat 5 times fast.
Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat.
That's actually really fucking good. Can anybody else do it? I can't do it. Toy boat, toy boy, toy boy. You say toy boy. You eventually say toy boy every single time.
It's like they say but.
None of my
something.
kids could do it. No.
All right,
It's just
let me try it. Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat. You can't fucking do it.
Brad did it so good. That fucking
have you been
shit all
practicing
over my
He's
point
been
right
podcasting.
Zach told me I'm ahead of the
Sure.
pod. Practice this shit.
Practice this tongue twister.
This is we're all
Tongue twisters are paying off.
Nick, you need to focus. We're filling time. We're pitching it for you here, buddy.
I wrote down.
Shit.
I wrote down when it's Nick's pick. Tell the toy boat story.
All right, I'm going Tango and Cash.
Yeah, that's a good.
Sylvester Stallone, Kurt Russell. Stallone's Tango, Russell's Cash.
I never seen that movie. Is it good?
It's corny and probably doesn't age great, but I like it.
I saw it a long time ago, maybe.
Like Sylvester Stallone. It doesn't age well because Sylvester Stallone gets like all sorts of racist in it or something.
Sylvester Stallone's like the straight man in it. It's kind of weird. Tango's Kurt Russell's like the crazy like kind of wild cop.
That is out of character because Sylvester's usually just a zany comedian.
I mean, he's not the dude that's like wanting to blow all the shit up. He's like kind of more like the pencil pusher type guy.
Oh, I have such a good one to pick. Is it my turn or is it Nate's turn?
It's my turn.
Oh my god,
I'm gonna take it.
you're not gonna take it. If you take it, I'm gonna go. Oh my god! Right, you ready?
So I'm taking Cates and Hammond from 48 Hours.
Okay.
See, no. See, this is where I'm gonna immediately argue and say that those are not both cops. You cannot take 48 Hours.
Why?
Hammond's. See, you haven't even seen the movie. Hammond's not a cop.
I've saw it a long time ago that he's not a cop.
No. Eddie Murphy.
He's the criminal dude. He's helping out Nick Nolte to like go find like the dudes that he used to run with.
It's kind of like Midnight Run.
Didn't Nolte like deputize him or something?
No,
I'll give it to
He's
him.
like a deputy sheriff or
Let's
something.
give it to him. Let's give it to him.
I don't want it.
I think it's bullshit.
I don't want it. I don't want
Now
that
he's
shit.
gonna
It's a
take
great-
my pick.
a great
Now he's
duo,
You're
but
giving
it's
him
not-
another chance to
I don't
take
want-
my
I don't
fucking
Memorable
pick.
cop duos.
I-
I mean, it says cop duos.
I don't want it.
I-
I don't want it.
I was going to take a Pixar movie, but the guy's not a
I'm gonna
cop in
pivot.
it.
I agree.
Brad's like, if I don't get my Pixar, you don't get your
If I
48
can't draft
hours.
Zootopia, you can't draft 48 Hours.
I don't give a shit. All right.
Take the one guy and Ice-T
Please
from
take Zach's pick.
Honey Badger don't give a shit. All right. I'm going to take Foley and Taggart from Beverly Hills Cop. I'm just going to go from one Eddie Murphy to the other, and he is
That
a
works.
cop in that. So fuck you, Brad.
No, that's good. That's a good pick. And I can't lie. I had 48 Hours. I had I had it on my pick here only because my dude Gus was in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's more Foley and
And Rosewood.
Rosewood.
That's what I. But
Yeah.
no, let him.
Okay. Just let him do his thing.
All right. With my pick, I'm going to take what should have been the one of one, and that is going to be Keanu Reeves and Gary Busey in Point Break.
Good call. Good call.
Johnny Utah, and I cannot remember Busey's character's name.
It is, it's like Papas is his last name. Right?
There you go. And Gary Papas.
Utah. 2. Give me 2.
And Busey just being full crazy man. I love that movie. Okay. And we're coming back around, and this is going to be controversial, but I think it works. And I don't know. I know one of the guys' names. I'm going Bruce Willis and Carl Winslow in Die Hard.
Is that a cop? Oh, yeah.
His name is
I
Reginald.
dig that. I
Both
definitely
cops.
dig that.
And Carl Winslow, what's his name?
It's because it's on my list.
Oh, you have his name? There you go. What is it?
The one you probably looked off of.
I did.
It's all lit up on my iPad screen. You fuck. Reginald Vell Johnson.
Oh, dude. Carl Winslow from Family Matters.
Do we, what's, it's McLean, and then do we know his name, the cop's name?
Did I do that?
I think it's Winslow. Officer Winslow. He's also a
Reginald
cop.
Winslow.
It's the same universe as
I was
Family
just saying,
Matters.
I admit I've always felt like Family Matters and Die Hard were in the same universe. I admit that.
100%. You can just give me the trophy now, guys.
I will say that's a sneaky little duo. I like that. That was not my list. I didn't even think about that as a duo, and that's very, very, very nice.
They have so many good conversations over the fucking walkie-talkie.
All right. This is the one I almost took number 1, and it's, as predicted, fell to me easily at number 4. This maybe is just a personal favorite, but I feel like this is the original like movie cop duo, and it's Friday and Strebeck and Dragnet.
Oh, which one?
Aykroyd and
Tom Hanks.
Okay.
Yeah, when Aykroyd dresses up like some sort of like sheep god, it's just fucking it's gold.
Now that was a TV show that they did a movie of. Is that correct?
Well, I thought that.
I believe that's
wasn't there a Steve Carell version of Dragnet, or is that a different one where he talks on his phone? Is that a different?
No.
That's
or he talks not talks on his phone. He talks on his shoe.
Like the spy one.
Which one is that?
not Spy Hard.
No. It's
not Dragnet.
It was based on a TV show. That's
yeah. He talks on his shoe. Yeah. Anyways, this is a really good pod. Us being like, what was it?
Get Smart.
Get Smart. There you go.
And it has my girl Anne Hathaway in it.
Annie Hathaway's. All right, I'm ready.
The strangest obsession that you have with, Danny talked about it earlier. But
wait, you don't like Anne Hathaway?
Anne Hathaway does almost nothing for me.
Wait, aren't you into like dark-haired chicks with well-formed features?
I just don't like Anne Hathaway. I'm not
weird.
a fan.
You're weird.
I like Ashley Judd.
That's
not
weird.
a big fan.
It's weird to like Ashley Judd more than Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, stop talking. It's getting weirder.
You're making this worse. You're making it worse.
Dude, what?
You guys think you're killing time for me, but you're just, this is bullshit.
We're just stepping on
I'm
you.
ready.
I want to talk more about Ashley Judd and Anne Hathaway.
Well, maybe we need to have like a poll, Ashley Judd.
When we
versus
cover
Anne
Double
Hathaway.
Jeopardy, you'll
definitely
get
have a
all
poll.
the Judd you want, okay?
in season 7.
Double Jeopardy is so good.
In year 6. Okay, sorry, Brad. I'm going Murphy and Lewis in RoboCop.
Ooh, that was in the thoughts of being my last pick. Good call.
Just pandering to our 80s audience.
You took my Winslow
because it was
okay?
so good.
Murphy, it's you.
And too late, I did notice that I can see your list. Nick's got 47 people on his list.
There's a lot to talk about.
It's
in
an
also
impressive
rans.
list.
He's a dig deeper.
But before we get there, I got to wrap this thing up. And ooh boy, I'm gonna go a little bit old school here. And it's I haven't seen this in a long time, so it might not play well nowadays. But I'm gonna go ahead and go with Colors. Pac-Man McGavin and Hodges. That's a classic Sean Penn and the hell's his name?
I've never seen that movie.
Robert Duvall.
Duvall. Could not think of it, man. Our brains are not functioning tonight. Yeah, so Duvall, Sean Penn. Sean Penn's the rough LA cop that wants to just beat everybody up, and Duvall's got the old school methods of like, you know what, we'll talk to these guys and we'll make things happen, keep the peace. And all right, Nick, you this is your pod, man. Lead us off with some also rans.
Some what?
We're going to talk about the teams that we didn't
Also
pick.
rans.
There's so many.
awesome.
You have 47
Free
on your
agents.
list. I can see it. And can I just tell everyone that while Nick pulls up his list again, it's color coded and it's really nice.
He's got tiers. I know he
does. He literally has tiers. It's like a real fantasy football draft.
ADP. There's
He got-
average draft position. He created that himself.
He started prepping at 4 a.m. this morning.
I was just going to say.
What's hilarious, so can I tell you guys this too about Nick's list, is that he didn't even take his number 2 pick in the draft. And it would have been the most Nicky pick of picks, right?
Yep.
Which is what?
This is it's a starting point. It's a jumping off point.
Okay.
And I
it's
played
just a
jazz
fluid
after that.
situation.
I played jazz after that.
Like you
I
did.
jump. I want a little bit from each color.
Like you did sophomore year with your trombone. Just
Right.
fucking just a free
Winning
flow
fucking
and
trophies,
solo.
bud. I just remember winning a trophy. I remember getting a trophy for that. That's all I remember.
for tromboning.
Nick did a trombone solo at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk band festival and won an award in front of everybody. And I've never been prouder.
If you were wondering if me and Zach go back, the answer is yes.
Hey, legit, my son, his drum line just got first place in that same competition.
hell yes.
The Santa Cruz Music Festival.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got it.
You know, hell yeah. Hell yes.
That's exactly what the tune that Nick played to
I
win the
love
trophy.
that I don't know these buttons, but we'll try this one.
Cha-ching.
No, I didn't get paid. How about this one?
Oh, there it is. There it is. That's what it sounded like. That's what it sounded like. We need to utilize that applause button a lot more.
I think we got to label them.
I probably should. A little overlay
That's
or
all
something.
asking you a lot to remember.
All right. So what's the
What was your number?
first offer? What was that number 2 you didn't pick?
Yeah.
Well, Denzel and Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, that would be the
Training
most
Day.
nitpick ever.
Yeah, it's a little surprising we didn't get that one. Nobody wore the T-shirt to the concert.
Leslie Nielsen and Ed Williams in Naked Gun.
Yep.
What about OJ? Isn't OJ a cop in that movie?
He is.
Ironic.
Most of the time he's not hanging out with them, but he does have some very funny lines
He
and some
does.
funny scenes for sure.
I wrote down, I don't know who they are, but Brad's going to pick somebody from Police Academy. But you didn't do that.
Yeah, so Police Academy 3, Bobcat Goldthwait is Zed, and
yeah.
Sweet Chuck, like the nerdy guy, they get partnered up because Bobcat Goldthwait was the bad guy in number 2, and then he becomes the cop in number 3.
So Zed, are we talking about crossover universes?
Yeah, it's,
It's Zed from Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
Yeah. He
I thought you were talking
eventually becomes a sheriff in L.A.
Which I thought the same thing
Oh, that
about
makes
Training Day,
sense.
by the way, because Homeboy is part of the crew. Zed is in that crew. The one that gets shot.
Is Zed?
Oh, that is Zed, isn't it?
Oh, he got he got fired. After he got shot, he had to go on leave, and then
the guy that's
got a
like,
new
the
job.
guy that's like, call the cops or like, call the ambulance.
Could have been controversial. MIB, Agent J and K.
Yeah, I thought, but I didn't.
I mean, are they
put it on my list.
police of the universe?
I know.
That would have been pretty on brand, though.
So Schmidt, and was this an autocorrect or is it actually Schmidt and Junk? 20,
Schmidt and Janko?
Janko, 21 Jump Street.
Do they wear the pants, the Janko pants?
Scott
go with
Glenn
that.
and Jodie Foster, Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, I didn't think about that one. Turner and Hooch, I did have that one.
I did too.
I had that on the list.
Richard Dreyfuss and Emilio Estevez in Stakeout.
Oh, good.
Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson in True Detective.
So I had Leo and Martin Sheen because they worked together.
Captain Queenan.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's a shitty pick.
it's a duo.
If we're gonna go TV, Hank and Gomez from Breaking Bad is definitely would definitely be high. And
I would think that your Shield show that you guys love so much would have some
Shane-
cops
Shane
on it.
and-
Shane and Vic have to
Vic,
be.
Yeah, I mean, they go way back. Blue Streak, this is one I love when I make up all the rules in my own head before we get here. So, like, I would have allowed Blue Streak, where Martin Lawrence plays, he's a bad guy, but he ends up acting as a cop. And so him and Luke Wilson are partners throughout the movie. He's not a real cop, but he's accepted as a cop in the movie. So I think that would have worked rather than 48 Hours.
So it's actually Joaquin Phoenix and Mark Wahlberg. We Own the Night. So that
Okay.
kind of works out that way a little bit, right? Because he's working together, he's playing undercover, and then he eventually becomes a cop halfway through.
In this vein,
Oh, you mean kind of like
He's straight up just like they
48
pay-
Hours? Kind of like the one Nate
Close.
tried to pick that you guys didn't let him
so if we're gonna in this same vein, I would make the case that Zootopia, which is the first cartoon I've ever had on my list, which is actually a great one. Wild and Hops. Wild is technically not a cop, but I think is somehow deputized.
Oh, you mean the movie I mentioned about 10 minutes ago in the draft?
Did you say something about that?
Yeah.
I didn't say anything about
When
Zootopia.
I was shitting on your pick, I said
did
that's why
say-
I can't pick
He
Zootopia.
did mention Zootopia.
Well, to be
I
fair,
stopped listening.
to be fair, you can't pick Zootopia because it would lose you the draft immediately.
Zootopia is a legit movie. Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep.
Did we say Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe and the Nice Guys or whatever that movie is?
That movie never got me.
Yeah,
Like,
that's because it's not good.
it's not good, and people acted like it was great.
And actually, Gosling, if you want to get technical, he's not a cop.
What about
He's like a private eye?
aren't Will Ferrell and Marky
Wahlberg.
Mark?
Hoyts and
did we talk
Gamble
about
and
that
the other
already?
guys. Although I prefer Gator to Gamble if we're going to go. that direction.
Sam Jackson and Dwayne Johnson in that movie. Have you guys seen the other guys?
So good. Those guys, they jump off a building. So fucking funny. No, the only females I had on my list, there are unfortunately not that many female cop duos in movies, although there are a few more on TV.
Heat.
Cagney and Lacey, for example. But McCarthy and Bullock in The Heat are funny.
Yeah.
And then the correct Die Hard pick is McClane and Carver in Die Hard 3. That is where your Samuel L. Jackson comes into play.
That's a little
But
deep.
Samuel,
cut for
not
me.
a cop. So
Yeah.
Damn it! What? Why are
you
they
just
on all the
because you're
fucking
going
lists
off
with
all
cop
the
duos?
movie lists online.
What else did Thrillist have, Nate?
I love it. See, that's coming back at you now, isn't it?
Cinema blend.
Making those comments a couple weeks ago.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready for some judging.
all right,
For your
I'm
nonsense.
ready. We'll get our special guest out here to.
Where did we stash him away this week?
There was
we
already
built
somebody
that
in the
little jail
woodwork.
cell. We figured it would be funny to put the cop
him
in the
in the
jail
jail,
cell.
yeah.
So we built that jail cell.
We sent in a couple of the big guys from county in there with him. So we'll see how he's doing.
Yeah, we'll find out.
All right, we'll see you guys in a minute.
California has the largest population in the United States and the site of some of the most famous true crime cases in history. But there's more than meets the eye to the crime in California. Join Sean, Jessica, and Charles on the California True Crime Podcast as they cover crime both infamous and overlooked from around our state, while looking at the deeper history that goes beyond beaches and movie stars.
All right, we are back. It's time to judge our draft selections for most memorable cop duo here at Bev's. We're going to release our special guest, Lieutenant Dan, from the jail cell. We thought that here at Bev's would be very funny and ironic to put a police officer in a jail cell.
But also give him a dose of reality, right?
And saltines
Put
and
him
water.
on the other side of the bars.
He doesn't look like he appreciated it.
His nostrils are flaring, and he's ready to send Zach to the losing column again.
Welcome to the pod, Dan.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. I'm out of jail. Good to be back.
So for those of you that didn't listen, and you should have, to our last episode on Training Day, which inspired our draft category, Dan and Brad and I have been friends a long time, and so there's some good old Dan, Brad, and Nate stories, including, I mean, I think I was officially deputized on the last episode.
Yeah. The duo cop fantasy was really brought along by Nate's fantasy that he is Lieutenant Dan's partner.
Nate and Lieutenant Dan. There's definitely a movie coming.
Nate and Lieutenant Dan's got a ring to it.
It's just a movie where Dan does his job and Nate just smiles the whole time, just with the biggest shit-eating grin on his face the entire time. What are we doing now, Dan? What are we?
That's hilarious because it's so accurate.
I can't believe that I'm known amongst your colleagues. I don't know if I should feel I feel like equal parts honored and humiliated by that.
They all really like you, but you're very unique. We have a ton of ride-alongs. You're the most unique ride-along for sure.
Yeah, I'll take it. And I know you have some ride-alongs there that I think are pretty impressive, so I'll take that.
Was it Code 3?
Code 3.
Code 3, yeah.
Okay.
Get those lights on.
Dude,
Lights and siren is Code 3.
It's and one of my favorite ones from the ride along too that tells you exactly what a rook I am is the one that I remember from one or two ride alongs ago. We show up at this call. And by then, Dan's a very senior. I mean, he was, I think, lieutenant then, and just back in the field only to indulge my ride along. And so,
that's the funniest part.
So we're there, and I'm in my best, looking. I'm in my Ethan Hawke undercover cop outfit, and
I was picturing Police Academy.
Can you please
outfit.
describe your cop outfit, please,
Yeah.
when you go on the ride along?
Yeah, I wear jeans and a collared shirt, and then I wear like my best sort of nondescript black sort of lightweight jacket.
Like by lightweight, you mean like full hard black leather
windbreaker,
jacket?
yeah. So.
And I have to usually make him take police off on the back. He puts the police on Velcro.
Like yellow
It's
tape,
like yellow electrical tape.
yellow electrical police. I got my badge that they gave me on my tour of the police station around my neck.
The sticker.
And so we show up at this. We're pull off on the next to this orchard, and there's this kid who's been jogging. And he is, and so he's there being treated, and so we show up, and Dan and the officers have just finished interviewing him, and they're reporting back to Lieutenant Dan, and they're recounting the story, and they're recounting it very factually that the way the kid had reported it, and this kid had said, I was running, I was out for a run, and I think he said. And I carry my mom and dad. I take our butcher knife with me on the run just in case, just to protect myself. And then this guy came out, and he's like in an orchard, right off the freeway. And this guy jumped out behind a tree and attacked me, and then stabbed me in the leg. And so and I had to go off to the hospital. And I'm like, damn, man, we got to look for this guy. I'm like, set up a perimeter, you know. And so it's me, you know, it's like this cop reporting back to Dan and some other cop, and I'm like, you know, I'm starting to think like, what's our game plan here? And both Dan and the other cop are like, that's bullshit. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean, guys?
We got to get some leads.
We need to interview witnesses, you know. And so sure enough, you know, like, and so I'm like, well, I get, you know, I don't know, man. These guys, they're sure that this kid's story is fake. Sure enough, you know, 3 hours later in the ride along, kid admitted that he didn't want to go to, like, you know, band practice the next day or something, so he stabbed himself in the fucking leg. God damn it!
Nate's trying to make me sound impressive with that. But
Dan is impressive.
Really, what we're showing here is maybe Nate's a little naive. He was literally running through an orchard, like a standard orchard was his story, and there was a guy hiding in one of the random trees that jumped out and attacked him.
This sounded legit to me.
Nate was like, that could happen.
To Danny, he might as well
out.
he might as well have said that the predator attacked him from the trees.
Like, very clearly, something's not adding up here.
All right. Well, that's another adventure in Nate the cop.
So good stuff. We're not leaving Nate the cop anytime soon.
That's my favorite new procedural cop drama is Nate the cop. It's just like all the other cops just like, oh my God, Nate.
It sucks that there's already a movie called The Ride Along, because I want to do Ride Along 2 with Nate.
Oh God. All right. So are we judging this thing or what, Nikki?
Yeah, I mean, are we ready? So, Bradley, are we going to list the teams?
No, when we find out a little bit about how Dan went through this, and once he announces fourth place, the loser. Who's the loser in this category?
I'm starting off with the loser. Hold on.
No. We're first curious what your criteria is.
Yeah,
for
what were you thinking about
Well,
as you looked at these cop duos?
That's actually very important because I'm not going by what the best cop duo here is. What I'm going by, honestly, is cop duo movies I think have been around forever. They're just a staple of Hollywood, right? And me wanting to be a cop, honestly, was based a lot on some of those old cop duo movies. I mean, you watch them and you're like, this is amazing. That's what I want to do.
I'm with you. I'm 100% with you.
That's how Nate decided he wanted to be a half cop.
Honestly, I'm hoping the winner is going to be one of you two that know me very well because I was raised on some of the. I think the peak of the cop duo movie was definitely the late '80s, early '90s movies.
There's a good run in there for sure.
They're not realistic at all. There's one movie on here that I'm super sad is not on this list by anybody, which I'll mention at the end, that actually is a cop duo movie that I think is actually probably one of the most accurate cop duo movies, which you'll be surprised when I name it, but I'll name it at the end. So where do I start? Do I go for Do I start with who's in first or do I start who's in last?
We'd like to hear the loser
last
of the
place
draft
team first.
All right. So
just which one
that's
was-
actually harder for who's in last. But I think I'm going to go with number 3. And that's End of Watch, Rush Hour, Beverly Hills Cop, and Friday. Beverly Hills
Dragnet.
Cop. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Friday and Starbuck from Dragnet. Beverly Hills Cop almost saved it, but come on. Rush Hour?
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's terrible. What I will say is, and my criteria on this is not exactly fair to this individual because End of Watch is an excellent movie, but I'm going off of what made me want to be a cop.
Love it.
You know what?
You have nothing to be sorry for.
I got to tell you,
man.
in my experience,
You made the right choice.
Just in my defense,
In my experience, in your cop experience,
what made me want to become a deputized ride-along cop is this list. So
Rush
you know
Hour?
what? We agree to disagree.
you're like, Dan,
Lieutenant
where's Jackie Chan?
Yeah. When are we gonna see Chris Tucker?
All right, so my number 3rd position.
Wait, real quick, I do have to mention that's back-to-back L's, Nate. Back-to-back L's. How's that feel?
That you, Nate?
I don't know
that's
what
Nate.
it says that both my wife and one of my oldest friends have essentially just ridiculed my movie taste. So, you take from that what it is.
I am upset with you, Nate. But I actually think Brad will know me better on these movies.
The shit tide turned
Interesting.
for you when you missed that podcast.
I missed that thought, and I'm jinxed.
So my next to last, so 3rd place, right?
Dan, you're about to become best friends with Zach. What if he wins?
Oh my lord!
Are you guys going to become best friends?
All right. We'll see. Maybe.
There's a lot of
So
anticipation.
my next to last is 7, The Departed, Point Break, and Die Hard. Number 4.
I thought you would be big on Point Break.
So Point Break, actually, I hate it. I fucking hated it.
I am agent.
Via con Dios.
Fucking feds.
I haven't seen it in forever, but from what I remember of it, it was just terrible.
Yeah, Dan's just pissed that the feds are always jumping on his jurisdiction.
Yeah. Now, you almost saved it with Die Hard, but I actually, if you would have picked Die Hard up front, I maybe would have saved it, but you picked it as your last pick, so you know what? No.
It's called a value pick, Dan.
I don't know what that means. But no. Okay, so we're down to the final 2. This was close, but not really that close, actually. So, second place. Do I go second place or winner?
Second place first.
Second place. Lethal Weapon, Hot Fuzz, LA Confidential, and Colors.
Colors, yep.
This was a very close.
Oh, God.
But I'll explain why first place was first place. So first place then was Bad Boys, Kindergarten Cop, Tango and Cash, and RoboCop.
I would love for you to explain why first place was first place.
So here's why first place was first place. My criteria is here's what everybody here should know. So hopefully, Brad, this is going to be you that won. Because when you're interviewing somebody or you're going through... When you're interviewing somebody, here's a technique everybody should know. You're selling it to your audience, right? So you guys know your audience really well. Hopefully you guys understand that these are the movies. This 4, number 2, every one of those movies is 80s and 90s, I believe, right? Bad Boys would have maybe been...
Yeah, Bad
That's
Boys.
90s.
That was
late
solidly
90s.
90s.
Yeah.
These are just the iconic cop movies that I was like, that's what I'm fucking doing. RoboCop. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get blown up, and then they're gonna make me a robot. And I'm gonna be a cop.
This is gonna be sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be badass. Tango and Cash. Oh man, you guys should do that as a movie. That's one of the best fucking cop movies ever. So number 2 is the winner. Number 1 is second place. Number 1, the one that threw it off for me was Hot Fuzz.
Have you seen Hot Fuzz?
I did kind of like it.
Too British.
Yeah, too British.
Too British. They
You
don't
know-
even carry guns.
Yeah.
Those bobbies.
But
Nobody
you
wants
know
to
what?
ride along with a bobby.
I actually really liked it, but again, I kind of went by the criteria of I'm going to go with the buddy cop movies that got me into wanting to be a police officer. And if I was, this sounds crappy, but if I was going to tell somebody, hey, watch these movies, they're going to make you want to be a cop. Number 2 is almost my list with one added, and the one added is Stakeout.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That was one of our also rants.
Grew up with
Stakeout, actually, to be honest, going back now, I think it's not as popular because there's not as much action in it as some of the other ones. It's actually probably one of the most realistic, where it's
Really?
just them hanging out and doing nothing,
talking.
Right.
And
Bullshitting.
hashing, just giving each other a hard time constantly, and obviously because it's in 2 hours as opposed to the 10 days that they're on a stakeout, but just massive boredom where they're just screwing with each other constantly. So.
Gotcha.
Anyway,
so,
Stakeout was a great movie.
so Team 2 was actually Zach, and I was Team 1. So Zach.
No, I was team 2.
Nick
Oh.
won. I was
Nick
team
won.
4.
Oh, Nick won. I thought Nick was sad about
That giant shit-eating grin didn't give
No.
that away to you.
I'm
I got
over here
confused
just like trying to hold it in.
So now you've got 5 wins.
Yes, he's
Yes.
the first person to 5
First
wins.
to 5.
And we said whoever gets to 5, we're ending the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we said?
This is it. Guys, it's been
It was first to 5. This was actually just a competition between us, and then we're like, whoever gets to 5
Backing it
wins,
up.
then the podcast. Now we're gonna find something else to compete in.
I'm going
wait
to
a
start
minute.
another podcast. I'm going to invite these guys, then we're just going to start over.
Wait a minute, Nate, where were you?
Nate was
Nate
last.
was
place.
last.
Last,
Come on,
Dan.
Nate. That's really terrible.
I know. You know what? I feel like a bad partner, Dan. I apologize.
Yeah, we're supposed to be partners, and you couldn't read me at all.
Couldn't even, I don't know him at all. Well, you know what? Like a lot of cop duos are, they kind of a yin and a yang.
No,
It's like
that's
we're-
not true. They've been working together for 20 years. 20, how long? Actually,
When was my
40
first ride along?
well, I don't know, but we've known each other now actually for like 35 years.
We've known each other 35 years, but
He's
I mean,
been quoting Tango and Cash for the last 30.
I mean, you're maybe one of Kurt
Hold
Russell's
on.
biggest fans.
Wait,
Oh, Kurt Russell And the greatest actor of all time, as everybody knows.
Are we going to talk about Best of Times again, Brad?
I don't know if Danny's seen Best of Times.
So that's why that was the other thing. I think you picked Tango and Cash.
Yeah.
Two of the greatest actors of all. Everybody knows Stallone
I kind of grew up with Tango and Cash.
His acting ability is amazing.
So
yeah, 100%.
I think my first ride along, Dan, was like 15. It might be legitimately like 15 years ago. When did you
I started in
was it
early 2000s, 2004, 3.
Yeah, so I think I think about 07 would have been my first stint as a
and he
part-time
was
cop.
cited that day as he is today.
It's
not changed.
I wish I could say that wasn't true and that wasn't just for comedy, but it's just 100% true.
When you give somebody like a tour of the police department, they're like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." When you give Nate a tour of the police department, he's like, "So wait a minute, what goes on in here? Okay, who gets brought into this? How do you bring him into this room? Are they cuffed?
Can we role play this?
Can I be bad? I'll be good cop. I'll be good cop. Hey, Nate, I did not know that about you. I had no idea.
I didn't know that you've been on
yourself
ride-alongs
as a police officer, first of all, and that you're like known.
It's not a flag that I fly very often, but when I do, I fly it real proud.
Two things.
amazing.
One, I wish I could go back and actually draft Nate and Danny as like the cop duo, because that would be pretty awesome. And then another one, Danny, have you seen Zodiac?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I know you guys talked about it. And
'Cause
it actually intrigued me. I want to watch it.
There's a cop duo in there that we actually never talked about. I was thinking that's somebody
one, yeah.
that could have been picked as well.
You guys didn't sell it very well either. You kind of made it sound like it's a little bit dry. So I do want to watch it, but
Zodiac.
It is dry and long, but it's a good movie.
It's worth watching.
We're not really here to promote the movie so much, just to basically entertain ourselves. This is one of the things I was going to say, and I had a conversation with a friend today who had listened to the podcast for the first time. He's an actor, and he's going to be a guest on a future pod. And his comment after just a few minutes of listening, he was like, a lot of people try to pull off the like, well, I'm just going to sit around and bullshit with my buddies, and they then sound like total clowns. And he's like, you guys sound like you're really sitting around talking. And one of the things I like about that comment is because we are really just sitting around fucking bullshitting here. We all have day jobs. None of us are here like trying to make this to get rich doing this. And we all really are good friends who basically talk exactly like this, except without the cool sounding microphones in our ears.
To put an exclamation point on Nate's point is that we did this for literally a year and no one will ever hear it. And we sat and got together and did this exact thing for 1 year and all of those episodes will never be heard by anyone because we didn't even record them.
Yeah, over Zoom because of COVID. But I think part of that is to say, so, lest you think that our constant urging for you to share with friends is so that we can, buy the next Mercedes. That would be my first. We want you to share with your friends because we think it's cool and it stokes us every time we see more listeners come in. We make like about 0.1% every time someone listens to a pod. So we're not getting rich anytime soon, but it helps us out. It just, kind of makes our day and makes it worth doing this weekly thing. If you, jump in, you tell a friend, you subscribe to the pod on whatever platform you like, you give us a rating, just like, sign on, tell us what you like or maybe even what you hate. I'm still waiting for our first piece of hate mail, which I'm hoping for at bevsvideokingdom@gmail.com. Oh, God, I'm going to read that hate mail live on the air.
We've made a lot of calls for hate mail and for solicited dick pics and genitalia, just general pictures of just whatever you guys got.
Whatever's in your phone, we'll take it all.
Just laying around the house, whatever.
So anyway, definitely subscribe, definitely sign up because it's cool for us. It's not anything more than cool. We're not making a bunch of money on it. But it's awesome when we see more people interested and get comments on the Facebook page, on the Twitter, on the Instagram. So anyway, do that stuff just to be cool because we're cool.
I don't know what you're talking about not making any money. Last time I looked, we'd made about $8.88, and when you divide that by 4 people, I mean that's at least $2 for each of us. So
there are several value menu items I have my eye on.
After taxes, we can get. If they still had 39-cent cheeseburgers, we're talking about 2 to 3 cheeseburgers, guys. It's like,
don't undersell it. At the moment, as I'm reading this, we have $9.57 in our
Jesus.
Anchor account. So we're going to break the $10 mark, and we are having a party.
Spicy chicken nuggets.
Oh man, this is a good one.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, that was man, that was awesome. Well, it is time to talk about our next pod, and Zach is on the clock, and he's going to tell us what his the movie he's going to pick in the draft category.
Is it going to be scary? Is it going to be evil? Is it going to be sadistic?
Okay, guys, it's sadistic for sure. So we're going with my number one. We're pulling out the big guns, guys. We're coming into the end of the year, and we're going with my favorite comedy of all time. I've said it numerous times. I think this is the funniest movie that has ever been made, and that is the Jason Segel penned epic, Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh yes,
Good times.
All right.
Oh,
I need to give that a rewatch.
Brad thought I was going to say the Muppet movie. He was so excited.
so excited.
I thought we were going to go with some movie that was going to just make Nate start shitting immediately again.
He looks just crestfallen over there.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall, it's just scene for scene and line for line some of the funniest shit that I have ever seen. There's some great stuff in it. Please go out and watch it if you guys haven't watched it, so you can be ready for the pod next week. And our draft category, which I think is going to be a really fun one, is going to be funniest sex scene or funniest
Oh boy.
funniest sex scene. I think that's the best way to say it. Funniest sex scene in a movie. And
I love that pivot, by the way. Like, there's a lot of ways you could go with sex scene.
I wanted
Funniest is
to
not the
go.
obvious one.
We've just already we kind of leaned hard into the drafting of the dudes a couple weeks ago. So I wanted to do for this movie. There's some great male nudity, and I wanted to do best male nudity in a movie, but the guys were like, nah.
Like we've considered tight male asses enough for a bunch of heterosexual dudes for one month.
Well, I'm just saying funniest sex scene. I'm already thinking of puppets. So.
Oh yes, exactly.
I cannot wait.
This is a movie.
This might be where you guys steal puppets.
There's
from
a one
me.
of
Which
one
is so
out there.
funny. There's great puppet stuff for the draft. This movie actually has Muppets in it. Like, I mean, it's perfect.
There might be some anime out there that has funny cartoon sex. Brad, if there is, Brad will unearth it.
Did you say there
some
might
investigations?
Might be some anime.
Might be some anime with cartoon sex in it. I think that's every anime
No, he
ever
said
made.
funniest. Some funny sex.
Well, in fairness, I haven't watched any anime, so
Neither have I, but I'm pretty sure that's like an entire genre of porn that none of us are into, that all of our kids are going to be into. All right, so Forgetting Sarah Marshall next week. Go watch the movie, and we will see you guys next time at Bev's Video Kingdom.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
I wanna be at Beverly's, bringing me home with my movies, just to blind by, no reason why. I love this scene. Nick Nate, I can brag, your favorite podcast. Let's start